once again, Celtics, they had all different weapons here, and they are the better team, dominating, and it's shown it so far. It's been a historical run. If they win on Friday night, that'll be an 80-20 record for the regular season and the postseason. This guy knows all about titles. Andre Iguodala won 4 titles with the Warriors, MVP in the finals in 2015. His podcast, Point Forward, with Evan Turner, and they delve into the latest sports business and culture. Point Forward, part of SB Nation and Vox Media Podcast Network. Andre, good to have you on here. How would you recap last night?
Last night was, I keep saying it every halftime, you see the game close with Dallas's best shot. And you'll see Dallas was only at 1, having a great first half. And there's a few key plays where Boston got breakout, easy buckets. You saw it in the first few games as well, where Dallas would score, Boston would come right back and get a layup, which is mind-boggling in the finals. And I think you saw Boston just, like you said, being a better team. Boston sticking to their strengths. When Luka goes out, Boston takes advantage of it, and they build a momentum. I love Kyrie last game. And it's interesting when I see sort of the social commentary behind one player and why a team lost. I just think Boston is the better team. They always take advantage of certain situations. They always have these huge runs. And even when they're not playing their best, as Dallas comes out every game with that first punch, Boston always responds, and they're either up 1 or a few at halftime, and then they just take it over in the third quarter, and then the lead's too large.
I know that the Mavericks are here because of Luka, but I think they're in a hole because of Luka as well, because last night's inexcusable. Like, you pick up those you can't foul out. Those aren't even good defensive plays that he's trying to pull off. It's lazy defense, trying to get a charge there, and then you foul out. But how do you work? I don't know how you can work the referees the way he does to your advantage, because if I'm a referee, and they're human, you know this, where they got to be going, oh, you got to be kidding me. This guy complains all the time. What would you say to him if you're a teammate?
Well, I've only seen defensive players be able to work the refs in a manner to their benefit because they want to be more physical. It's always offensive players' advantage. As a defensive player in the NBA, I think we all would agree on that, and that's not a knock. It's just the way the game's been played. And with Luka being an offensive player, I think they've done a great job of hiding him defensively throughout the playoffs this year. But with a team like Boston, they're just going to keep attacking. They're getting into the paint. I think Jason Tatum has been amazing at taking what the defense gives him. He could have had 12, 13 assists in the first half of game 2. And just the way he's finding his guys and the way Drew Holiday's playing, Derek White's playing. Sam Hauser was huge for him last night, knocking down open baskets. And people don't understand that's all of we're going to attack the weakness on defense to get our best shot. What I would say to Luka is you got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That was something we would say a lot with the Miami Heat. Udonis Haslem says that a lot. And you got to understand, as one of the best players in the league, a lot comes with that. And one thing that comes with that is that you can't have any weaknesses. And defensively, we can't have the hole that the perception of you is of our defense, where they're just attacking you. And then, you got your bigs, you got Derrick Jones Jr., you got your defensive guys sort of out of sorts trying to cover for the point of attack for the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, I can't have him on the perimeter trying to check, Jason Tatum off the dribble. I mean, it's just, you're putting yourself in a position that's more advantageous for Tatum or Brown, and he doesn't have the quickness to be able to do this. Like, how do you hide somebody who can't play defense?
Well, you can't give up blow-bys. And I don't think you asked him to be a great defensive player. That's not what you're asking him to do. But you're asking him to give you 4 or 5 seconds of defense. That's what you ask for. Give me 5 seconds of keeping the ball in front of you. We'll funnel the ball a certain way. And then the most important thing is to recover on the rotation on the backside when you do get beat off a drive. And they can't be straight line drives. They got to be angle drives toward the baseline where your help's built in. Once your man pulls over from the baseline, there's going to be a swing, swing, swing. Boss has done a great job of normally you only get to 1 or 2 swings in the NBA after a drive. The Celtics have got to 2 or 3 swings and then another drive and another 2 or 3 swings. So they just done a great job of executing. So you got to play. Well, with Luka, it's more like I need 10 seconds of defense. And in the finals, it should be 24. It shouldn't be hard to ask for a complete effort with a complete backside rotation and just communicating with your guys.
He's Andre Iguodala, won 4 titles with the Warriors, won the MVP in 2015. Did you think you were going to win the Finals MVP?
Well, this is the world we live in now, where that particular award is under such of a microscope. And for us, I don't think anyone was thinking about it. And that's the new age world of sports that we live in.
But when you hear your name called,
yeah,
what happened?
No, Bob Myers alerted me literally 10 seconds before it happened. And I was just in such joy and elation that it wasn't in my mind. Like I didn't even realize that was a part of the ceremony post game. So it wasn't on any. I don't know if it was on any of our minds. You know, we were just so excited to win the championship. So when you hear your name, it was just like whoa. And I don't think I put it into proper context, until maybe like a couple of days later when I kept hearing about it. I guess it was when I got the email that I was led in on this tech investment that it all sunk in, because this company kept telling me no, they were oversubscribed on their investment round. But when I won Finals MVP, there was some room made available. So that's when it all kicked in.
Do you bust Steph's chops though when you win the MVP?
No, actually, never. I don't know if we've ever had a conversation about it. If anything, Steph would say,
he doesn't want to talk about it.
I don't think it's that he doesn't. I think it's more I wouldn't have been able to get it without him. I took a lot of wide open shots. Obviously, I was able to stick to my strengths defensively. My Swiss Army knife skill set I heard a lot about when I was in Philly, and I was able to do all those things. It was just a perfect moment on a perfect team, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without Steph Curry.
I'm looking at whatever you got a bunch of books behind you. I don't see any.
Oh yes.
Wait, yes. Where's trophies? Do you have any things in there? I would never know you're a basketball player when I look behind you.
I have it's one trophy. A company of the board I joined went public, and so that was a big moment to be on the stock market trading floor when we went public. But my trophies I finally put them up in kind of a display, but I'm not a trophy guy, so I had rings that I couldn't find, or not that I couldn't find, I just didn't see because one ring never been open. It was just tucked away under some clothes that I picked up one day.
Yeah. You have a hat that says logo on it. You had Jerry West, the logo, who worked with Golden State. What got memories come to mind with Jerry?
The fastest golfer I've ever played with. And we became really close. I'm really close with his son, Johnny. Got to know his wife, Michelle Wee West, just a beautiful family. I've got to see the real Jerry West. And to see the real Jerry West, he leaves a mark on you, a real impact on you. Just what he stood for as a professional basketball player. I think he was the beginning of what it meant to be a real professional basketball player. We spoke about guys in the NBA having side jobs back then. He was the first full-time basketball player, and he was able to set the stage for what it meant and how to conduct yourself as a professional basketball player. I mean, he was there with Oscar and when they started the union.
Yeah.
And when you think about that impact there and how far we've come as a body of players and our influence and our value globally in sports, just how he left his fingerprint on it. I know just playing golf with him was some of our some of my favorite moments with him. I got to hear the real, the raw, the authentic Jerry West, and he was always real and authentic, no matter what setting he was in. But just to be around him and hear his basketball philosophies, his take on the state of the game, what needs to be changed, how you overcome any types of fear, how your demeanor has to be going into the finals. I mean, one of my favorite quotes was, I was a wolf. Wolf eat dogs. Everyone talks about how they're a dog. Well, I'm a wolf. I eat dogs. But he had the same demeanor throughout his entire life. And wherever he was and wherever organization he was a part of, there was always success and there was always high standards that he set for that organization.
Great to talk to you. Good luck with the podcast. Thanks for joining us, Andre.
Appreciate you.
That's Andre Iguodala. He was four-time NBA champ. Point Forward podcast, Andre and Evan Turner. They have sports, business, culture takes. Point Forward, part of SB Nation and Vox Media Podcast Network.